So what we're doing today is we're going to learn how to repurpose everything so your messaging hits home and so you save a stack of time. So I'm going to share 32 ways you can repurpose your content. So that's blogs, emails, social media posts, video content, resources you've got that you've totally forgotten about, reviews, how you can use this to create newsletters. And I'm also going to share some tools that you can use to make this easy on yourself. And then at the end, we'll jump into the homework where I've created a board for you to help you actually organize the content you've already got. So you know what you've got and you can crack on with repurposing it at lightning speed. But it also saves you when we all get those times where we're like, I've got nothing to say. I know that I haven't posted in days, but I don't know what to post about, or, you know, I haven't done a blog in ages and I don't know what to blog about. So if you repurpose video content into written content, longer content into a snappier like reel, for example, you're reaching people who prefer different content styles and who learn differently. So what I mean by that is, for me, for example, if I write a blog, what I'll do is write that blog. I'll then write 3 social media posts about that blog at the same time as writing it. I'll write an email about it. So we know, first of all, that everything we post, particularly on social media, is only getting seen by a very small percentage of our audience. And it's actually sinking in with the people that we need to reach, and it's helping us drive that message home. On that note, do jump into the copy review section of your course, because you'll see some examples of this where I've turned 1 social media post into 3 social media posts. Well, let's get straight into our 32 ways that you can repurpose content. So that could be, again, if it's a listicle blog, you might do, you know, the headlines, 3 ways to whatever it is, or 3 reasons why. If you've got a blog that's, you know, a really popular topic that people are interested in, create a lead magnet for it and then embed it in your blog. So you might expand more on one thing that you've talked about in your blog. You might give a checklist, you know, refer back to our lead magnet session for ideas. But if you've got a blog that's performing really well, you really want a relevant lead magnet in there so that you can start getting people on your email list. And you can also use all of the above things that we've spoken about to promote your lead magnet. If you've got one that you've sent that's performed really, really well, you might consider, depending on its relevancy, adding it to your welcome. What you could do is, you know, have a week's break from the end of, you know, time delay 1 week, add one of your really popular emails because they won't have received it. So that's one way that you can repurpose a successful email that you've crafted and make sure it reaches a wider audience. So you could find old emails that you've sent that have landed well, create a group of people that have joined after a specific date, so the date that you sent the email, and then send that email blast out to them. You can repurpose email content into a social media post. Again, this will help drive your messaging home. So if somebody's on your email list and they see that messaging again on your social media, just helps the message sink in and hit home. And have a look at which subject lines have got high open rates. Because it's generally the subject line that's going to drive whether somebody opens an email or not. Make a list of them. You could tweak it and use it a similar one because you know that you can understand what hookers work. It's just going to help you get a vibe of what hits home with your audience and what creates engagement. Similarly to at the beginning, I've said to you, if you've got campaign emails that have done well, you can add them to your welcome flow. You might find that you've got emails in your automated sequences that not everybody's getting or has received, but they'd make a really good campaign email. So you can repurpose those and just make sure you've excluded people that were in the group that received that flow. So say you've got a lead magnet about loose lead walking and email 3 really hit home and it's got some really valuable tips in it. Duplicate it and make it a campaign email and just exclude everybody who's received that loose lead magnet. So we probably, most of us spend a lot of time on our social media posts and they just disappear into the scroll of doom. What you can do is go back to old posts, so scroll back to like 6 months, a year ago, find the ones that have done well and either repost them exactly as they are or change the image or, you know, just reword them slightly and post them again. You've got a little video in your homework document which will show you how to find the insights on your social media posts. As you're doing that, if you uncover posts that have landed well, not only can you just repost them, it gives you an insight into the fact that that topic is popular and it creates engagement. If you've got topics that have done really, really well that there's more to say about, it could be that that's a really good idea to write a blog on that. And again, in your homework, I've created a really basic Trello board that you can swipe and use, where you can just drop these as quick reminders. So you might be able to take that video content and make multiple reels or shorts out of it just by snatching a piece of it. Okay, so it's a transcription tool to turn video content, the audio from your video content, into text, which you can then use to make social media posts and even blogs. You can either set it to play and just leave Otterite AI to record it, or I believe that you can also import MP4 files and then it will spit out the text. You can turn a portion of your course into a lead magnet. It gives people a taster, gives them something useful. I haven't had to come up with a new idea. Again, if you're a trainer or you work with people in any kind of consultancy fashion, there are probably handouts, checklists, resources that you have that you give to your clients and only your clients. You could either bundle that into a low-cost product, or you could use it as a lead magnet. What you could do with that content is turn it into an email course that drips. So the same way that you would have, shown up 3 days in a row and spoken about blah, 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 you could drip those videos out in an email, any tasks that you've delivered in an email. And, you can then use your email sequence that you used at the end of your challenge, the emails that you used at the end of your challenge, to sell them into whatever product or service you wanted to sell within that automation. So you spent time creating that challenge content, coming up with the concept and all the value that you delivered, and you've spent time creating the emails that sell the thing at the end. Use them, reuse them. That's an evergreen funnel for you right there. When you look at your lead magnets, you've probably got, various points that you cover off in that lead magnet. You can turn those into social media posts. So for example, if you've got 5 steps to transform your recall, you talk about step 1. And then you say, download my lead magnet below to get the 4 follow-up steps that will give you, reliable recall everywhere, whatever it is. Use the content you've already got to fuel the promotion of the thing that you want to drive people to. And if you're struggling for something to talk about, I would always just go and spend 5 minutes reading through your reviews, or just ask a question and then they send you a video reply. Really, really easy. You can then repurpose that video into a reel with their permission, into a case, onto your case study or into a blog, onto your service page. Like, options are endless. It's not great particularly at accents, but it takes the legwork out of it. And it can also be a quick way for you to revisit content that you've made before to pull out key points. Again, I think it has got a free version, but depending on the length of your content, you might need to pay for it. I'm not a huge fan of using AI to write new content unless you're very good at briefing it and prompting it. You can get better at briefing it and prompting it, and then it will write more in your tone of voice. But for those of us that don't want to spend loads of time doing that, what it's already very good at is repurposing content that you've written already. So if you've written a blog, or you swipe a section of copy from one of your pages on your website, it could be a service page or a social media post you've written. So I might do a video to show you how it works, that can repurpose your copy, can also rewrite copy you've already written to make it better. So just experiment, find which one works for you, which one you like, but they can be really useful for repurposing content. Use Instagram to turn videos that you've already got, so you'll need to put them on your phone, download them to your phone if they're not on there already. So you can take a 20-minute video and find the 60 seconds or 30 seconds you want to feature, shrink it down, click the button to add captions, create yourself some templates, change the font and the colors to your branding, and you can just reuse those over and over again, just changing the copy. So I would suggest in your social media session, if you've taken that one, you'll see that I created a Trello board for that. I would suggest using Trello as a really easy visual way to dump all your stuff in one place. Make a list of all the blogs you've got, because when you're writing new blogs, you should be going back and putting internal links between them too. And it will be much easier for you to see what you've got, particularly as your blog content grows, if you've got a list of them all in one place. So to use this board, just come to these dots here, copy the board, and then you'll have your own that you can go away and tweak. If you've got any questions or you need any help, just jump into the Underdogs Unleashed Facebook group and I will see you there and I will help you.